सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् शान्ति 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 शान्ति
Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Indeed. The earth indeed is like Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Just now in the video you saw Vasudeva Kutumbakam means the entire world is one family, living in harmony as one family. Now this is something which we experience every day and which is not new to us. Okay? Yet the word sustainable on the basis of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, that is living in harmony, living as a whole. Okay? Can you guess the meaning of sustainable? Okay? Sustainable means something which is unending, something which is supportive, okay? And something which can live for long, something which can survive for long. Or you can just say it is long lasting. Alright? So our today's lesson is sustainable management of natural resources. So let us just write down sustainable management of natural resources. Before we go ahead with our lesson, we need to know the meaning of certain terminologies, like how we discussed what is sustainable. Sustainable is something which is unending, something which supports, something which lets life survive for a longer time. Okay, and the next is resources. What do you mean by a resource, or what is it that you can term as a resource? Okay. A resource is anything that can be used profitably by a human being to satisfy his wants. Okay, so any material that can be used to satisfy human wants. Alright? That is what you call a resource basically. And resources could be natural resources and it could be man-made resources. Okay? Natural resource, obviously the name itself tells you that it is available from nature. You get it from nature. So sustainable management of natural resources. The name of the chapter itself tells you that there has to be a mechanism, there has to be a process, okay? So there has to be a process to maintain and manage the natural resources, okay, effectively, so that they will live for long, they will be unending, and they will be replenished. So in that way, you can also say that sustainable is something which is renewable. Okay? Sustainable is something which is renewable, supportive, unending, etc. Okay? So then, sustainable management of natural resources, we need to take proper care of our natural resources, and we need to maintain our natural resources effectively so that the natural resources are available for the future generations. Okay? So first of all, we will discuss what are natural resources, which are the different types of natural resources that we have, okay? How are we using them? How is each of this resource important for us, okay? And is it getting replenished? Is it getting over? Is it getting exhausted? The reasons why it is getting exhausted, and the planning for future, what are we doing in order to conserve those resources? So this is all is going to be in this lesson. So let us enlist the different kinds of natural resources first. Natural resources. The different kinds of natural resources that we have. The number one is, we have air. Air is a kind of natural resource that we have. Okay. Then water. Okay. Next, what we have is forest, wildlife, and the next what we have is minerals. Minerals include everything, the liquid minerals as well as the solid minerals. So these are certain natural resources, or rather say the heads of the natural resources, the head points of the natural resources that we have, right? All of these natural resources we have been using, and of recent times we have been exploiting them on a large scale. Because of the increase in population, the use and the extraction of these resources is happening on a tremendous scale. Okay? You must be aware of the forest. Okay? You must be aware of the fast deforestation that is taking place in India and around the world. Okay? You must have surely heard about the Trans-Amazon the Trans-Amazon rail that is going to be established. Okay, that is going to be laid through the Amazon forest. You must be aware of the problems associated with the RA forest in Mumbai, the only breathing zone of Mumbai, wherein it is going to be cut off for the metro railway yard. So these are just two of the prominent examples that is in India and around the world. Okay, and it is not just this. It is not just about the forest. It is also, now when I talk about the forest, it also includes the mangroves that are getting deforested, that are getting cut at an alarming rate. You must have seen so many projects, so many building constructions coming up in the coastal areas, right? And if you happen to see the satellite images, okay, the satellite images of a particular locality, okay, in and around Maharashtra, in Mumbai especially, okay, if you see a particular, say, a locality, Malad, or you say Borivali, or you say any other locality in Maharashtra also, okay, just see the satellite images 10 years ago and now. There is a drastic difference in how that locality looked, that particular vicinity looked 10 years ago and now. 10 years ago, at least, it was greener than what it is today. Okay? So this clearly tells us that within a span of 10 years, within a decade, within half a decade also, the trees are getting cut at an alarming rate. The forests are being cleared at an alarming rate. And it is this clearance and this pollution is not just restricted to the forest alone. Don't you think the air is contaminated? The kind of diseases that are coming up each year, okay, every year the kind of diseases that are coming up, it is the result of pollution. It is the result of the environmental imbalance that is there. Okay. Then I talk about the wildlife. Yes, there have been so many species of animals that have been extinct because of the lack of forest. At the same time, minerals. Okay, we are extracting minerals on a large scale. We are extracting coal, mineral oil, petroleum. Okay, all of these minerals are being extracted on a tremendous scale. Okay, and the waste product, the slag that is given out, okay, that is just let out into the rivers, and again it spoils our water bodies. Is it just the water body? Is it just the waste from the mineral industry that is spoiling the waters? No. If you take the example of the river Ganga, where it originates, the river Ganga, where it originates from the Gangotri glacier in the Himalayas. Okay, so there, if you see, the water is crystal clear. There is a diagram, as you can see over here. There is a diagram that is given in your textbook as well. Okay, it shows you the amount of coliform that is present in the waters of the river Ganga. Alright, so what is this? The bacteria, especially the bacteria called coliform. Now, this particular bacteria called coliform exists in human intestines. Okay, and this bacteria is let out of a human body through feces, through the waste products, through the excretory products that the human being lets out. At the same time, it is let out by the human being, and its dead bodies, the partly burned dead bodies. Okay, so there has been a tremendous pollution of the river Ganga, and I'm not just talking about river Ganga. It is also about the other rivers. Okay, specifically for the Ganga river, this diagram, this graph, the graphical representation that has been shown. Okay, it is evident from there. If you notice, the places where the river Ganga originates, that is in Rishikesh, if you see, you can see in the Gangotri glacier, you can see the graph is actually down. This means that the level of the coliform bacteria over there is almost negligible. As it proceeds towards the cities, as it passes through the villages and the cities and the various holy places like Prayag and Allahabad, etc. Okay, and the highest you can see the coliform level is at Varanasi. And Varanasi, if you see, and there are other holy places, the other places wherein the people usually flock there in large numbers in order to take this holy bath. But while they are doing so, they do not understand that they have also contributed in the pollution of the rivers. Okay, in the pollution of the very river that they are worshipping. Okay? It is not just about worshipping the river. When we are undertaking, when we consider the river as the goddess, okay, that same respect has to be given. We cannot afford to pollute that river. Now we will talk about all of these things in detail, okay, as the chapter progresses. As of now, these are the natural resources, that is wildlife, minerals, water, air, forest, which we have been polluting, which we have been exploiting to a large extent, because of which we are actually inviting our own doom.